having a great holiday season. My name is Rick Hernandez, and I'm with Demo Indicia, part of our business development team here. And as a shipping technology provider, I have to say that we've had another great shipping season, and we're looking forward to telling all of you about the wonderful solution we have in place with Vendio. So before I get too far down the road, I have to say, most people ask this question, what is Indicia? Well, we are the leading USPS, U.S. Postal Service, approved PC postage technology provider. What that means is we provide shipping and mailing solutions that allow folks to access all USPS products in rate introduction, and I hope everybody on the phone is having a great holiday season. As a shipping technology provider for the U.S. Postal Service, we've had another record-breaking season, and we're really excited that all of you could take time to join us today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by asking the question everybody asks me when I tell folks I work for a company called Indicia. What is Indicia? Well, we are the leading USPS-approved PC postage technology provider. Well, what does that mean? That means we make it easy for you to work with the United States Postal Service to create shipping and mailing solutions so you can create your packages, so you can label your packages and products and mail them easily. We provide an integration into our system through APIs that allow folks like Vendio to integrate our solution into their systems. We have 6x4-inch integrated international and FPO labels, so if you want to ship internationally and domestic, you can. And we have the ability to provide tools for you, so you can do database integration, batch printing capabilities, and we have a wide variety of service plans that allow folks to use our technology. More importantly, we have an integrated solution with Vendio that we're going to walk you through today. So going back to Indicia, we're responsible for 65% of the PC postage that's printed. And in 2012, we've exceeded $1.5 billion in postage. Actually, we went over $1.7 billion as of this shipping season, and we printed a total of $9 billion in postage. Now, while some of you may have never heard of Indicia, folks in the shipping industry know a little bit about us. We account for about 6% of all the express mail printed by the U.S. Postal Service, 16% of all USPS priority mail, and 26% of all of the USPS international packages leaving the United States. So we have a pretty big footprint, and I'm sure you or somebody in your family has received a package this holiday season with an Indicia shipping label on it. Now, a lot of times folks ask, when and why should I ship with the United States Postal Service? For those of you who aren't familiar with the USPS as a shipping option, the thing you should know is the USPS is a perfect solution for small, lightweight shipments being delivered to residential addresses. Essentially, I think some of you have seen these commercials, if it fits, it ships. You also, in addition to having packages that are typically less than 5 pounds and less, if you have a flat rate package from the USPS, and that's what you see here in the right-hand corner, is a little flat rate box, you can put as much as you can fit into it. If it fits, it ships. They really mean that in that commercial. And that really gives you an advantage to move products, and it's a very cost-effective solution. The other thing that's really nice about using the U.S. Postal Service with Indicia is that there are no hidden surcharges. When you pay for your shipping label, that's what you pay for. You're not going to be charged for a fuel surcharge, a residential delivery surcharge. You're not going to be charged for an address correction fee, any of that stuff. So the fee you pay for your postage is the actual cost. And sometimes if you've ever worked with a private carrier, you will see you may get 2 bills. You get the bill for the shipping label, and then you may get a bill for all the little accessorial and add-on fees that come in. Sometimes when people look at their costs, they don't take all of these add-on fees or surcharges into account. The other benefit of using Indicia with the U.S. Postal Service is that you're going to save money over the retail prices. So you're going to get, through the Vendio relationship, commercial-based pricing. This means the price you pay is cheaper than what you would get by going to the counter at the U.S. Postal Service. The other thing that you get is free package pickup with the Postal Service. You know, if you're a small shipper shipping from home, you can hand your package off to the postal carrier who comes to your house. If you've got a warehouse or a sort facility, the Postal Service will be happy to pick up those packages for you at no additional cost. The other thing that the Postal Service provides is quality package tracking, and I'll go into that a little bit, but I'll tell you that the U.S. Postal Service has invested more than $1 billion in infrastructure over the last 2 or 3 years to improve the quality of the tracking data that they provide to you. So this is what we produce for you. So this is a priority mail shipping label. This is what you would put onto your package. Now, going back to the question of what is indicia, indicia is actually a postage mark. That's where the name comes from. And that little barcode in the upper right-hand corner, where it says that this sample label says void, do not mail, that's where the postage indicium sits. And this has some information, so the Postal Service knows how to sort the package, and they know that you've already paid for all of your postage. We support all of the mail classes that the U.S. Postal Service offers. So if you're sending it priority mail or express mail or first class parcel, we support that. If you're sending your package internationally, if you have a family member or if you have a group of customers who are members of the military and they're stationed overseas, we support APO, FPO locations for packages. That means you can ship to the military personnel stationed overseas in Japan or Afghanistan or any place like that. We also, as part of that solution, we provide an integrated customs form. So you don't have to go through all these extra steps to fill out a customs form. We provide an integrated customs form for you that has all of the necessary things you need to induct your package into the mail stream. The other thing that we provide here is you can see you've got the return address, the destination address, and you've got your electronic delivery confirmation, and if you choose for signature confirmation, you can add that in here as well. And this is all captured with this tracking barcode at the bottom of your shipping label. This is something where it surprises people how good the quality of the tracking the United States Postal Service can offer these days. And as I've said, so going back into the shipping solution, when you look at the tracking information from the U.S. Postal Service, you can see the quality of the tracking information that you get. Here I have tracking information from the U.S. Postal Service on the left-hand side. This is from an actual package that was shipped priority mail from Broomfield, Colorado to Saginaw, Michigan. And these are the tracking results that you can retrieve from our website and also from the U.S. Postal Service website, USPS.com. You can see the package was starting from the bottom and going up to the top. You can see the electronic shipping information was received by the Postal Service. The shipment was accepted, processed through a sort facility. It arrived at the post office in Saginaw, Michigan. Sorting it out for delivery, the package was delivered. Compare that to what you get with a private carrier, and you see you're getting the same quality of information, and in some ways it's presented a little bit easier for you to read. So this is something that, if you look at the tracking data from the U.S. Postal Service, it's as good as what you would expect to see from a FedEx or a UPS. The other thing that's really nice about the Postal Service, and I mentioned this at the beginning, is that there are a number of flat rate options that you should consider. Now, all of these options are supported through the Vendio relationship, and we'll walk you through how you can access those. But you go back to that commercial you see with the gentleman from the Postal Service, and he says, if it fits, it ships. Well, that's really true. If it fits inside the flat rate packaging, then it is it's something that the Postal Service will allow you to ship. And the reason why they do that is they have a real price advantage when it comes to shipping packages that sort through all their sorting facilities and the equipment that they have, because they already have to deliver packages to every residential address in the United States. And if it fits through all of that sorting equipment for that part of their delivery network, then they have a real price advantage over private carriers. So with these priority mail flat rate options, you have 12 different package size choices. Typically with priority mail, it's typically a 2 to 3 day domestic delivery. From what I've seen, about 96 to 97% of all of the packages that are sent priority mail are delivered within 2 days. If you're doing a local, like a Zone 1 or a local type shipment within the similar city, I've seen priority mail packages delivered within 1 business day. And the pricing for these flat rate options are weight and zone independent pricing. So there is really a 20-pound price limit on some of these packages, but it's pretty hard to get anything that weighs 20 pounds in these packages. And it doesn't matter if you're shipping it to Hawaii or you're shipping it next door, there's no difference in the price that you're going to pay. Similarly, there are express mail flat rate options. There are 5 different package sizes. And for both the priority mail and the flat rate, you really should take a look at the different boxes that the Postal Service has. Because if you're selling something like shoes, for example, your shoes will fit into these flat rate boxes. And now it's a really wonderful price advantage to put your shoes into a priority mail box. It is express mail is typically a 1-day service. In certain situations, it'll be a 2-day service, but for the vast majority of the United States, express mail is a 1-day service. For those of you who are shipping next year, express mail delivery does happen on Christmas Day. You can sign up for that. So if you really are looking for somebody who's doing the late last-minute shopping, the Postal Service is definitely an option you can consider. I know a very large, prestigious brand that use us with the Postal Service to make sure that people who are buying surprise gifts for their significant others were getting those gifts on Christmas Day. So I know it's a really good solution for folks. The other thing that's coming in the January timeframe are regional rate boxes, which are 5 package size choices for priority mail. These are best for shorter zones, so that zones 1 to 4 basically mean, typically within 1 to 2 states, something that's close. Within California, that'll cover California and maybe a little bit of Nevada. And again, if it's less than 20 pounds, then you can qualify for the pricing there. So the other thing I mentioned was the ability to create APO, FPO labels in customs forms. And again, if you're shipping internationally, we make it easy to work with the Postal Service. If you've ever had to fill out an APO, FPO form by hand, you know that it can take a lot of time, and then you have to go to the counter at the U.S. Postal Service, wait in line, and have a clerk stamp your APO, FPO form. We've worked with the Postal Service to automate all of that. So instead of having to get that rubber stamp by hand, if you look at these examples of shipping labels that we've produced with our system, you can see that we've created an electronic round stamp that we've put on here. And this just tells folks, hey, this has been received, we've got all the electronic information, we've submitted to the Postal Service, all of the customs information is automatically submitted in the background through the U.S. Postal Service. And so in the case of an APO, FPO form, that's all taken care of. And I know that on the international side, Vendio is going to be adding international very soon. And that offering will allow you to seamlessly create a shipping label to folks who are in countries. And you don't have to have the headache of, oh, what kind of form do I need? Where does this go? We make it really easy for you to complete all of this information. The other thing that's really nice is if you look at the amount of time it takes for APO, FPO shipping, we cut about 80% of the time out. And we also cut out the time where you have to go wait in line at the Postal Service. So again, the U.S. Postal Service will come and pick this up and deliver the package to military personnel. Now I know I've spent a lot of time talking about the APO, FPO, and the international, but the vast majority of our customers are using us for domestic shipments within the U.S. And typically they will see advantages for using priority mail, especially if they're shipping directly to consumers. If the package is something that is typically 5 pounds or less, unless you're putting it into flat rate packaging, in which case, again, if it fits, it ships, and that's a really good a really good solution to use. At this point, I've kind of walked through my presentation. I've covered everything I really wanted to cover. And I'm going to turn it over to Crystal, and she's going to take a few minutes and give you a demonstration of the solution, the integrated solution that we have.
So hello everyone, you notice I just changed screens. So if you're currently a Vendio customer, this looks familiar to you. This is your My Vendio page, and I'm going to show you how you turn on the Indicia shipping within our system and how we've built a nice little freeway for you between Vendio and Indicia. To turn it on, you just want to go to your sold items, and you can sign up right from this banner, or under the shipping area, you can set up your USPS integration. And just clicking on that, and go through the process. You want to set up the integration. It's going to be your personal information and a passcode, and there's some more information here to where you're going to find that information. Once you have your account set up, I'm going to go into a different account and show you this is an unset up account. So that's how you just sign up from here, or from the under the shipping area, set up your UPS integration. So I'm going to sign out and sign in an account that has one set up already. Okay, you'll see we're back at our My Vendio page, and I can go into my sold items, again, under orders, and I can just select my items that I want to select, and I can print my shipping labels, print address labels only, or print invoices and packaging, just by selecting the item. I want to note, this is something that's really important for all of you to know. If you have an existing Indicia account, you're going to have to set up a new Indicia account through our system in order to use it directly. Now what happens is that you'll want to cancel your existing account and get a new account, fund it through Vendio, the Vendio system. And the reason being is that we built a freeway between us and Indicia, and the on-ramps are what we didn't build for all the different segments of people who use Indicia. It was a much speedier process for us to say, okay, they will need to set up a new USPS account through Indicia versus doing it through our system. It just made for a much smoother process for us and for you moving forward. But once you have that account, you can just come in here onto your needing shipment area, select all your items that need shipment, and go ahead and print your shipping labels. You can also fund your postage through our system under Preferences, and I'll show you how to do that. Under your Orders Preferences, you'll see that there's an Indicia account settings. You have your account number and your passphrase, and you can go ahead and purchase postage right from this page and populate your postage right into the Vendio system. Just determine how much you want, and you can purchase your postage. Once you have done your labels and printed your postage, everything else is automatic. So what will happen is your tracking numbers will appear here automatically, and instead of having to do an import that you do today, we do support the older system where you can do your import and export, but the new system is totally automated for you. So your tracking number will appear in your area, and it will be sent over to the marketplaces. So I do have a question in chat that I'm going to answer right away, and the question is, how much is the cost? And the cost is right here under the Learn More. I believe it is $15.95 per month, and the savings are approximately about 15%. So if you ship a lot of packages that are under 5 pounds, this can really be an excellent deal for you, because on top of the USPS great rates that you have, you're also going to save an additional 15%. So that concludes my area of the presentation, and I'm going to go ahead and open this up for questions.